today we're going to talk about new topic, values. That's what you can see here. Respecting individual. There are things, there are words that we need to know first. So you have the words such as athletic. Okay, so what do you mean by athletic? Say athletic, it means that you are physically strong, healthy, and active in sports, right? So you have here, okay, so you have here another one, inning. Inning is a team's turn to bat. Okay, so it's if you're going to play like baseball, you know the person who will actually hit the ball. Okay, so we call it inning. Next, you have broadly, in a wide way. Okay, so broadly means wide. Next, you have pitch is to throw in a specific direction. Pitch is to throw. Yelling is a loud cry.
Like
Scampered.
babies cry very loud.
And then you have scamper. This is to run with quick bouncing steps, right? So today, these words, we're gonna use it to understand story better. But before that, let's watch a short video clip first.
Yay! Yay! It's an ice. That's a little bit scary. Don't scare us, teacher. That's that a chance. Ritwikas, Subrat, Sujan Sahu. The baby. Abigail. Yeah? How did you get that screen? I got it from the...
Okay, guys, here please. Take a look at the video.
Wait a minute, that's the same as Catch Alive, the wallpaper. She looks like me, but I do not stay in a wheelchair. Can you disobey?
Look at her. She's just actually on the wheelchair.
You want to have some fun by walking.
From morning to afternoon. See that? She's just staying and watching her friends playing basketball.
What happened to her? Why is her leg broken? That's why she can't play. What happened to her? Did she break her leg? That's why.
Okay, so one time the ball went to her face. See how supportive her friends are?
Why do they not talk?
Okay, so that is just a very short story, guys. All right, so what do you think is the what is your understanding with the video? Can someone tell me?
You have to be happy with your body. You have to be happy
basketball player.
that you have a perfect body.
Yes, you have to be thankful, right? That you actually have a complete perfect body. So your hands are still intact as well as your feet, right? So you should be thankful always. You know how hard it is not to have um parts of the body because it's gonna be so hard for you to move around.
Yeah, like you cannot like eat. Like if your hand is broken, you cannot like eat or draw with your like the right, like the hand that you always use.
True,
Hard
that's
to
so
do.
true. Okay, so today we're going to read a story about the boy, the little boy, about James. Okay, so
The
the
boy hit the
boy
grand slam.
who hit the grand slam. Do you know what's grand slam is?
No.
Mm, hit the grand slam. It means that he became so famous because it's like being the best player in the game. Okay, so let's take a look at here. So James is a differently abled child. Do you know what's differently abled child? James is actually different. Okay? He attends a school for special children, right? So one afternoon, James and his father on their way home walked past a park where some boys are playing baseball. So James was passing at the park together with his father.
Father.
James asked, "Do you think they will let me play? How about you guys? Will you
I
let them
think.
play with you?"
I don't know how to play baseball.
Right? So if you know how to play
Well,
baseball,
maybe they can like teach you how to play basketball.
right? If other games. So James' father knew that his son was not at all athletic and that most boys would not want him on their team. But his
What does it mean,
father,
like athletic teacher? Like athletic, what does that mean?
it means sporty, like can play sports, like play basketball, play baseball, play volleyball, like that. So,
So the
I
father
play
thinks he was a
badminton.
sporty.
I play
mm,
badminton.
okay, so James'
Play
father,
volleyball.
James'
I play
father
badminton.
James' father is actually thinking like, no, my son um is not that athletic. Okay, that is so sad. And then his father understood that if his son was chosen to play, it would give him the sense of belonging. Okay, so the father understood like maybe if my son will try, maybe they will if he will be chosen, he will have the sense of belonging. Do you know what sense of belonging is?
No.
Sense of belonging is being or having a feeling that you are part of the group. Okay, that's what we call sense of belonging. The feeling of like you are part of the group. Mhm. Okay, now here you have his father approached one of the boys in the field. Not field. Okay, this is field. And asked if James could play. So the boy looked around for guidance from his teammates. Getting none, he took matters on his own hands and said, "We are losing by 6 runs and the game is in the 8th inning. I guess he can be our team and we will try to put him up to bat in the 9th inning." Okay, so James' father got excited as James smiled broadly. So it means that James got in the team and he was told
Wow.
to put on glove and go out to play short center field. We'll say short center field. Actually within the circle. It's in the center area. It was the bottom of the 8th innings, and James' team scored again and now with 2 outs and the bases loaded with the potential winning run on base. Now James was scheduled to be up. He was given the bat. So it's James' turn now to swing the bat. Swing. So
I thought they were
everyone,
playing basketball.
baseball. Wait, they're playing baseball. So everyone
Okay.
knew that it was impossible because James did not even know how to hold. Okay, James didn't even know how to hold the baseball bat. That's why their teammates was like, nah, I don't think James will make it. So they're thinking about like, nah, James will not make it. He will not make it. So the bat was not properly hold. However, as James stepped up to the plate, the pitcher moved a few steps to the lob the ball in softly. So James could at least be able to make contact. The first pitch came in and James swung clumsily and missed. So on the first pitch, James missed it. One of his teammates came up to him together. They held the bat and faced the pitcher, waiting for the next pitch. Now the pitcher again took few steps forward to toss the ball in softly toward James. So as what you know that the pitcher again he took more steps forward to toss the ball to James slowly. As the pitch came in, James and his mate swung the bat together and hit a slow ground ball to the pitcher. So when they actually throw it to James, they swing and then it hit the ground. So the pitcher picked up the soft grounder and could have easily thrown the ball. So he was about to throw the ball then to the first baseman. James would have been out and that would have ended the game. Instead, you know what the pitcher did? So the pitcher took the ball and threw it on a high arc. So the pitcher threw it on the high arc right to the field, far beyond reach of the first baseman. So he threw it very high, very far, that the
Whoosh.
first baseman didn't even able to catch the ball. So everyone was started yelling. They said, James, run to the first, run to the first. But never in his life James ran to the first. Now he scampered down the baseline wide-eyed and startled. By the time he reached the first base, the right fielder had the ball. So the second fielder had the ball already. And what he did was he could have thrown it to the ball. He could have thrown the ball to the second baseman who should tag out James. Instead, he actually understood the pitcher's intention. So he threw it high, like just like the same throw that the first one threw. Okay, so still the same was he actually threw it at the very high arc that nobody could reach. So everyone yelled again, run to the second, run to the second. And James ran towards second base. And now, as James reached the second base, the opposing shortstop ran to him and turned him in the direction of the third base and shouted, run to the third. As James rounded third, the boys from the teams ran behind him screaming, James, run home. Now James ran home and stepped on the home plate, and all 18 boys lifted him on their shoulders and made him the hero as he hit the grand slam and won the game for his team. So that is the story about James, who is um a special kid. All right. So the first speech actually came in and James swung clumsily and missed. That was happened at the very first. But then he was able to hit the ball. All right, so let's answer the following questions. Right, so number 1, Zach. Who is the main character in the story?
James.
James.
And how will you
Do not say anything.
describe him? How will you describe him?
Kind
Kind. What else?
and energetic.
Energetic.
And listen what they say and listen things that people say and they go to it.
Okay. So number 2, Abby. So what was his
Okay.
father's request to the baseball player? What was it?
His request was like if James could join also the team.
Exactly. Okay. So his request was if James could also join the team, so he will have the feeling of belongingness. So number 3, Rizel. Rizel. Okay, so Rizel, how did the game turn out? Describe what happened. How did the game turn out? Rizel, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, we cannot hear you, Liza.
We can't hear you, Liza.
Are you talking, Liza, or no?
Huh?
Or should someone else answer it? Because it's
Rizel, we cannot hear you, Rizel.
even though you're unmuted, maybe you need to go closer.
I remember that participating in the class example, if there are like questions and then you answer, there will be like additional points for that in your grade. So the more you participate, the more you will get good grades. Next, let's have Sean. Okay, so Sean, so how did the game turn out? And describe what happened.
Is anyone gonna talk?
Is Sean there? His video is not moving.
Maybe it's frozen. Maybe it's frozen, teacher.
It's there.
Sean is here. But Sean won't answer.
Really?
Sean's he never like didn't talk about for answers. He always answered the question, but now he's not talking.
I think he's having a bad internet connection. Can you see it?
Oh
See
yeah,
it moving?
like in the quizzes, teacher, like in the quizzes, he disconnected.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have another one to answer.
Oh, Micah.
Okay, Micah.
Hey. Yes, teacher.
Okay, so Micah, how did the game turn out? What happened?
James ran to the third home. Won. And all the 8 boys put him on their shoulders.
Yes. Okay, so he actually won the game, right? Even though his father thinks it's impossible because he's not athletic, he was able to make it. So, what does the story tells us? Seth.
It was the toilet.
Um, yes.
I want to do it. I know the answer.
How about Seth? You need help, Seth?
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay, so let's ask for a help. Who can help Seth? Zach? Okay, let's have Johan. Johan is raising his hand.
I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. Me. I want to do it.
Yes, Johan. Huh? Okay. Okay, Johan, you have here. What does the story tells us?
And talk to Seth. Who's the main character in the story? How would you describe him? Are you kidding?
Oy, who is that?
Johan. Teacher, can I do it? Can I do it?
The
I know
story
Sandra?
it's taking so long.
Mm.
I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it.
Okay, Zach, let's have Zach.
What does the story tells us? The story tells us to be kind and not to let others have fun.
Mm. Okay, good job. Okay, so we should be kind and we should not judge. Right? So, do you know people who are differently abled but was able to make it, and how do you treat them? Hmm? Anyone? Do you know someone? No, you don't know anyone?
Yes, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not to say it. I'm not to say it because it's bad. Bad to hurt.
I have one. I have a cousin, and
Yeah, too fast.
she's
I
yes.
got a lot of cousins.
Mm-mm. My cousin is my cousin is
A lot of cousins.
my cousin is very dear to us. Mm-mm. Then
My cousin, I have two cousins. All my cousins school here. I don't have a cousin. Two cousins. Got three cousins. I have a cousin.
okay, so how do we treat them? Like
Not nine
we should
cousins.
treat them nicely, and we should always show that we care to them, okay? Because it's not easy, and also they also need our support and help. Okay, so that's why we should always respect everyone, right? Do you got it? Always respect. You should not make fun of them, okay? Because it's bad. And you know what? That God doesn't like it. All right, so that's it for today. Do you have any questions?
No.
No?
Yes. No question.
So if you don't have any questions, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. And also, please, those who are not able to pick up their modules, kindly pick the modules in the school because it's ready. And we're about to post the test coverage maybe on Wednesday. No, maybe today or tomorrow.
Teacher, I have one more question
Yes?
about the school. How many more exams we're gonna have now, teacher? How many more exams?
We're going to
There's one
have
more exam, teacher. There's one more exam, Alessandra. There's the
yes,
quarter in May.
yes.
The quarter in May.
The
Okay.
the exam will be on May for the fourth quarter.
The last exam of the day.
Okay, so that's it for today. Let's say goodbye now. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye, teacher. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Teacher Diana.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, classmate.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
and see you. See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.